So a lot of clients will come to me and they'll be complaining of indigestion, heartburn, and even having what looks like heart symptoms. And it could very simply be what's called a hiatal hernia. So there's a hole in your diaphragm where the esophagus goes through, which is your tube that goes from your mouth to your stomach. So if that hole, so the esophagus goes through that hole, sometimes what will happen, let's say you lifted a heavy object or strained doing some exercises, what will happen is that the stomach, which is sitting right here, will lodge up in that hole, and it can cause indigestion, heartburn. I've actually had a client that would just vomit because nothing would go down, because the stomach tries to lodge up and be part of what I like to say the lungs. So it tries to get up in that hole, and it can be very uncomfortable. I'll tell you a quick story. I called my sister one day when I was living in New Mexico. She goes, "Katie, I can't talk right now. We got to take Jack to the hospital." I said, "What's wrong?" And she says, "Well, he's having heart attack symptoms, but he keeps saying that his stomach hurts." And I said, "Oh, he's got a hiatal hernia. Just go to a chiropractor and get it fixed." Well, she calls me back 5 hours later and she goes, "You were right. It was a hiatal hernia." So I want to demonstrate for you how I fix that. And this is visceral manipulation, and it's very simple. So what I'll do is I'll take his arm. I don't know if he has one, so if he doesn't, I'll pretend. And I'm just gonna do some muscle testing. So we have a strong muscle. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get up on the stomach and I'm gonna push it up. And actually he does have one. And see how his arm went weak immediately? So now we've gotta fix that. So how we fix that is get up headward, and I'm gonna push down and pull down. So I'm gonna pull down towards his left foot. Take a deep breath in and back out. And it can be a little uncomfortable. And look at that, nice and strong again. So that just fixes it. So what I would tell him is not to lift anything over about 10 pounds. What happens is, perfect year for this, is when we're shoveling snow, what do we usually do? We usually go get a shovel full of snow, but before we do that, we hold our breath and we go, and then shovel, right? Well, what we've done is we've just jammed the stomach up against the diaphragm, and it'll actually be hard to breathe. And some of my clients will say, "Hey, I'm having a really hard time breathing." And I'll just pull that down and they're like, "Wow, that feels so much better." Okay? So that's an indication of needing a hiatal hernia adjustment. You don't have to have surgery on it. You can sometimes catch it in when they do an endoscopy, or the doctor might say, "Oh, yeah, you might have a hiatal hernia," if they know what they're talking about. So that's my demonstration. If you're having any symptoms, acid reflux, heartburn, heart symptoms, not truly having a heart attack, but heart-like symptoms, or you've just been shoveling snow or maybe moving and you've jammed that up, so we can fix that. And that we do that part of the chiropractic adjustments that we do in the office. Again, I'm Dr. Katie with the Health Improvement Center. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, just click the link below, share our videos, or even subscribe to us. That would be great. Thanks so much.